Hi everybody, today we've got something a little different for you. The Roland BN20 and BN20A printers are small, compact 20-inch EcoSolvent ink printers. Because of this, a lot of people that have a business, side hustle, or a major hobby in the sign, sticker, and heat transfer vinyl industry will usually move up to the Roland BN20. Now, US Cutter has already created an in-depth training course that will cover everything from the unboxing and setup all the way up to your first print. And that's also included for free with every BN20 and BN20A that we sell. So now, because of this, the most common questions that we receive about these printers are related to the financial and business side of things. How long does it take to pay off the machine? How much should I charge for a particular job? How should I go about and find new jobs? So to help answer these questions, I've purchased a Roland BN20 with the CMYK and metallic ink setup so that I can bring you along as I go and create signs for my local community and try to pay this thing off. For my business, there is no job that's going to be too small. I want to get out of the red as soon as possible, and the very first job that I landed was for 11 customized bags for a softball team. How did I land this job? Some parents at the softball field called me over to ask questions about how the game of disc golf is played. Somehow the conversation moved over to team uniforms and how much they cost this season, and then I saw an opportunity to mention my latest side hustle. Now by this time, I had had the BN20 for about 2 weeks. I had been practicing with it every day, familiarizing myself with its software and learning what it can and can't do, learning the machine's limit. Because in my personal opinion, you should never take a job before you've purchased the machine, and you should never take a job before you familiarize yourself with the machine that you have. Because if you end up overpromising something that you can't deliver, it's either going to cost you a lot of money to get it done, or it's going to cost your reputation when you can't get it done. So the job is to put each player's name in team colors onto these 8-inch wide, 6-inch tall bags that they've already purchased. The customer doesn't have any art created, so I will need to create a few samples to send over so they can choose what font and outline style they want used. To create these designs, I'm going to open up my design software. For this example, I'm using our Vinyl Master program, but you could use Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw or whatever design software you like. I just like to use Vinyl Master because I know how to use it better than any other program, and as long as you have the LTR version or higher, you can create contour cut lines that work with the Roland VersaWorks program. The team colors are black and red, and I don't want to overwhelm the customer with 30 text messages with pictures and samples so they can get confused and take a long time deciding. I'm just going to start with 5 different fonts using 3 different outline options in 2 color choices. And then I'm going to give a no outline option down at the bottom. I'm also going to add numbers to each column and letters to each row to make identification much easier for the customer. These are pretty easy to make. You just select the text, choose from the font above, and then set the color. And then once you're happy with your color, you want to move your cursor over to the quick selection tools on the left-hand side. There's a giant T. Click that and you'll see that you have several outline tools here. For A and B, I'm just going to add a 1% outline in both colors. C and D will use a block shadow effect. And then for E and F, we'll do the outline effect. And then we'll make the last row our control by just leaving it as a black text in whatever font we have. Now we just need to complete this process for each font, and then our sample will be ready to go. It's just a simple text, so it doesn't really need a watermark in my opinion. I'm just going to take a snapshot of the screen using the snippet tool in Windows. I don't take pictures of the screen with my phone because it won't look as clear and the color won't look correct. I saved the image to my cloud, and now we just need to figure out how much I need to charge before I send this to the customer. We need to figure out how much it will cost to cover the materials, and then also decide what we're going to charge for labor. I'm going to be printing on Caesar ColorPrint Easy that was included with the BN20 sampler kit for free. It's a 20-inch wide, 5 yards long roll, and we just want to take the current price and divide it by the length. This size of ColorPrint Easy comes out to $2.75 a foot. TTD mask is also required for heat transfer vinyl, so we're going to price that as well. We're going to use the same roll sides, 20 inches wide by 5 yards long, and we're going to use the same formula. Divide the price by the length of the roll, and it comes out to $1.20 per foot. Now let's talk about ink prices. On average, 1 milliliter of ink will equate to about 1 square foot of printing with average ink coverage. Each BN20 cartridge has 220 milliliters of ink inside of it, or 220 square feet of ink inside of it. Now we're going to be using the same formula that we've used before to find the price of the ink. We're just going to divide the price by 220. That'll come out to 0.4045 or 41 cents per square foot. Now I'm very aware that a square foot of ink is not going to be the same as a foot of our material that we just measured before, but we're not going to be doing complete coverage for this job. If I was going to do complete coverage, then I would increase this price. Since this is a heat transfer job, I'm only going to be using the CMYK inks. So to get the total cost per square foot in the inks, I'm just going to multiply that 41 cents by 4, and that'll bring us to a total cost of $1.64 per square foot. Now I know some of you are thinking those numbers aren't right because you might not be using all 4 inks. You might be using 1 ink. It could be less or more coverage, so those numbers aren't correct. That might be true, but I'm always going to charge like I'm using all the inks. That way I can make some profit. And if we add everything up, that's $1.64 plus $1.20 plus $2.75. That's going to be $5.59. So I'm just going to round that up to about $6. Now you don't have to, but I'm also going to add a little extra on top to cover the cost in case I make a mistake, because I am far from perfect. So I'm going to charge $10 a foot when printing this HTV just so I can cover my butt. Each name is going to be slightly over 6 inches in size, so it's going to take a little more than a foot of material to get this done. Lucky for me and lucky for the customer, this material was included for free with the sampler kit, so I'm only going to charge the customer for just 1 foot of material, and then we can go into pricing our labor. My business philosophy is to make good profit with each job, and that my time is very valuable. $40 an hour valuable right now. So that brings the total cost with materials and labor up to $50. Now I just need to send the quote over with the sample to the customer. After a short wait, the customer selected option 4B, so we're going to be going with the Shining Monday font in red with a black outline. We just need to go back to Vinyl Master, create our outlines, cut lines, and export the job. I'm going to set the outline percentage to 1.4, and now I just need to create the cut lines around each name. To do this, I just want to make sure that everything is selected on my screen, and then I'm going to move my mouse cursor up to the apple up top in the static toolbar. Clicking it will bring up the drop-down menu, and from here we want to select Create Cut Contour. This will bring up the Create Cut Contour pop-up window, and here we can adjust the outline over on the right side of the pop-up. I want to cut inside of the black outline, so I'm going to set the outline percentage to -0.2, and then I'm going to just click Accept to go back to the main design screen, and now I'm ready to export the file and start printing. To do so, I'm just going to hold my left mouse cursor down and drag a box over everything to select everything on the screen, contour cut lines included, and then I'm going to move the cursor up to the File drop-down menu and select Export and then File. This will allow us to save it as a PDF, and when we save it as a PDF, we want to select the Include the Contour Cut color so that VersaWorks will be able to see the cut lines that we just added. And once you save the file, it should open up and you should be able to see the cut lines located inside that saved PDF file. Now, once inside VersaWorks, we just need to drag and drop the PDF file into the CMYK queue, and then we can adjust the job settings by just highlighting the job and clicking the gear icon located at the bottom of the queue window. I've already obtained the media width and set the ink type to CMYK, but I want to make sure that I also have it set to print and cut and give all the other settings just a quick look over before I start printing. With everything looking good, we just want to click print and let the BN20 do its thing. Once it's done printing, it's time to start weeding away any unused material and then apply the Caesar TTD mask. Once the TTD mask has been applied and you've removed as many air bubbles as you possibly can, then you're ready to peel away the backer from the Caesar ColorPrint Easy and press it to your substrate. For these bags, I'm setting my heat press to 280 degrees Fahrenheit with the timer set for 30 seconds. I'm pressing these with a pressing pillow and I'm covering the entire bag with my non-stick sheet. After 30 seconds, I'll lift it up and everything came out beautifully. Now I just need to repeat this process 10 more times and I just made my first bit of money from my Roland BN20. My next job is helping out a local food truck, and what just started out as some banners turned into a huge job that actually ended up paying for a quarter of my BN20. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can see that video and everything else that we have in store. Also, if you have any questions about any products or processes shown in today's video, you can contact us directly using the information shown here on screen. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Have yourself a wonderful day and take care.